In this video, we're going to have a look at an example of adding and subtracting complex numbers. So here specifically, we're given three different complex numbers, a, which is 3 minus 2i, b, which is negative 7 plus I, and c, which is negative 5 minus 4i. And we're asked to find 3a minus 2b plus 9c. First of all, go ahead and try this problem on your own, and then we'll take it up together. Here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to make sure that you multiply each of the coefficients, so the 3, the negative 2, the 9, by the given complex number. Next, you're going to have to add and subtract the complex numbers as indicated. To do this, remember that you simply add or subtract the real parts, and you also add or subtract the imaginary parts. So just work with the real and the imaginary parts separately. Go ahead, try this out, and we'll continue once you're done. So hopefully you've had a chance to try this out. Let's go ahead and have a look at the solution. So what we're trying to find is 3a minus 2b plus 9c. So let's substitute in what we know. We know that a is 3 minus 2i, we know that b is negative 7 plus I, and we know that c is negative 5 minus 4i. Now, the first step is that we're going to have to perform the indicated multiplication by the scalar, the number outside, by the given complex number. So the 3 in the first term is going to have to multiply the 3 and the negative 2i. The 2 in the second term is going to have to multiply the negative 7 and the I. And the 9 in the last term is going to have to multiply the negative 5 and the negative 4i. So let's see what we get. 3 times 3 gives us 9. 3 times negative 2i gives us negative 6i. The negative 2 times the negative 7 gives us positive 14. The negative 2 times the I gives us minus 2i. The 9 times the negative 5 gives us negative 45. And the 9 times the negative 4i gives us minus 36i. So now our next step, in order to actually simplify this, is to group like terms. And here, like terms are real terms and imaginary terms. So those are the two different sets. So let's just go ahead and underline in different colors the real terms and the imaginary terms so we can keep them straight. So right now, let me just underline in red the real terms, so the 9, the 14, and the negative 45. And in another color, so let's choose blue here, let me underline the imaginary terms, so negative 6i, negative 2i, and negative 36i. So first of all, let's go ahead and add our real terms. So we're going to have 9 plus 14 minus 45, and I'm just going to put them in brackets. You don't need to do this, I'm just showing an extra step. And now for the imaginary terms, I've got negative 6i minus 2i minus 36i. Again, we don't need the brackets, but they're just here to show us which terms are the real terms, which terms are the imaginary terms. So now if we go ahead and simplify 9 plus 14 minus 45, the real terms, that gives us negative 22, and minus 6i minus 22i minus 36i gives us negative 44i. So altogether we have negative 22, that's the real component, and negative 44i, that's the imaginary component. So overall our complex number is negative 22 minus 44i.